You will not learn your lesson. You're still clickbaiting me. You're still sending your crazies to me. And your cheerleaders who want to kill me or rape me or whatever. Listen, US. Have you ever wondered why the number Delph is blessed by Opus Dei or Catholics or Russians or Muslims, others, even the Brits? Why would they be, even the Muslims, yes. Why would they be speaking about that? What they're saying? You're abusing the name of a number, 221 Delph, which is a number in a church in the Netherlands, but Delph. This is what they were saying. When they were speaking about Holland, they meant Intel. They meant the land, the Netherlands. Wormhole to worm and the UN sciences. Understand? So, even if, let's say I had been a spy, and you smashed my head in and all the operations and the others had shut down and left, was it worth it? No, because the void is on your country's soil. So your excuses for smashing that girl's head in on the coastlines for the social security number Delph shows what the fuck the US is. Denying the existence of the girl, bringing back Disneyland, denying that because you don't have enough intelligence to remember or to know what happens on your own coastlines, your own soil, other than some cheap-ass Jewish banks. I don't care if you're Jewish and you have cancer and you feel sorry for me or something. I don't give a shit. You're the ugliest people I've ever met. I don't care if you're Nazi skin. You're not a German Nazi skin. You have nothing to do with German airspace. I did. Because I had Russian airspace and Saudi airspace, July 22-1. So when that girl had her head smashed in, a la Dirk van Dam, The Hague, Lowlands, 221, the number Delph from that church, Newkirk Delph. It's not a question of the number. It's a question of the face. If you smash somebody's head in on the coastlines, they are going to bless it abroad. And they're going to call the American Satanists on the coastlines. That's all news on the news and nails. What are your fucking pretenses? That the buildings of sciences are empty. I didn't do cancer. Cancer was pink. Now, if that did happen, that there was cancer and they're good, you're denying that too. In other words, you're all just clickbait retards. And your PhDs won't change the shit on the coastlines. Even if you're $1 million PhDs, they can't change it. Because that's how Intel works. To each his own fucking intelligence. And because I'm not intelligent anymore, because I had my head smashed in on the coastlines and you forgot who that girl was on July the 20th, 221, and that's all news on the news gone with the wind, I don't have no pretenses. That's why by now, after all the flyings and runnings, defending the barons in Fresno retirements and the coastlines where that girl used to be, there's a Scotland film and Radio Globo. And the reason you hate me is because I'm showing to you who the fuck you are as people. Because with me, it's obviously not Intel. I'm just gonna have to say. Because, yeah. Yes, because with me, you see, if the girl, if I had been the original girl, then the flies are running and then I had my head smashed on the coastlines. And I could say, it's the Intel. But if it's Disney, then it's not Intel. No. It's your masses. It's your illiterate masses. Or your literate masses, for all I give a shit. But then again, we'll have to speak about what literate and illiterate is with comparisons. If Gabor Prisoner's Dilemma is, if his professor was a reader, his reader in the UK was Said, then we're all illiterate, right? So we start comparing who did what and what, and I'm intelligence, and we compare, but that's not true, but we lied, and we deny, then we hate, and then Disneyland has to be put through all this hate in the US with 221 Delph, social security number, because of some conspiracy, not conspiracy, race, not race, religion, not religion, US. The Opus Dei, the Vatican itself said you're retarded, to my face. The girl was into science and space tech, and you're a horse. This girl couldn't even show up for 2 seconds before you start doing your religious shit, your fucking Schadenfreude Jr. shit, your hatred towards me. You're not fucking Iran on the coastlines. You're definitely not fucking Iran and Fresno's intelligence. The hanging benches of Laura Winters and Lonnie Direct in the Supreme Court are hanging Because you're fucking whores in Fresno. You understand that? Because you're just simple fucking low scum criminals. Liars, deniers, scammers, and retards. And the science on their retirements and the sciences on the coastlines will remain void. The prophetic void of scientists. This wasn't a cheap-ass dark mission. I'm the pin-up girl. I'm that girl who they smashed the head on the coastlines, who had a ship, the yacht, the banana boat, the ghost child of those sciences. You still hate me as Disney. 2-1. July 22 to 1. Goodbye, fucking bitches. Unless we want to go into whores and to full divorce with George and the whole shit. But that's the East Coast, yeah? And here we're on the West Coast, right? So we made this Forrest Gump Greyhound. The reason, I don't know. I really don't. Because you cry for some dark missioner, but you won't cry for me. You see? I never had pretenses because I'm not that girl. I'm literally not that girl. The blues that I was trying to say to you, that there is something behind her. These genetic Crab was a bit strong, of course, but she was already a different girl, another girl. Now I'm crabby. You see, they made a fuss about that. Because to them, to see somebody who was that breaking in space and that breaking in science in the UN or in other countries, have her head smashed in on the coastlines, and still have girls with psychos stalking her 221 July 20th Delft, Lowlands, Netherlands, tells us US is a heap of shit. So you can clickbait as much as you want on the internet. You can call me names, you can call me Sadhana, you can call me Antichrist, you can call me whatever the fuck you want. Or Babylon, I don't give a shit anymore. I have seen this on my crawlies and netro crawlies. I've seen your cheerleaders, I've seen your psycho stalkers. We don't need $1 million Dr. Paris to psychoanalyze you. They didn't analyze me. They did else things when I was a child. They analyzed you, US. Even the psychiatrists. For your cheerleading squad of fucking bitches. Collective. Unless you want to add the whores with the psychos. US. All those flyings and runnings, you have the pretenses. The flyings were beyond the library, yeah? Weren't the flyings beyond the library? That made sense. And the runnings on the hills, right? Above some, and behind and beyond the library. And then the third, right? We know. We know everything, don't we? We've seen and heard it all over the capital city so many motherfucking times. You're still fucking lying, still fucking denying. What about the Scotland film and Radio Global bumming out for Disneyland? I shouldn't have to say that out loud. I shouldn't have to say to the CIA, you lost that shit on the coastlines eventually. On the coastlines. And you knew that those guys would leave with her. The scientists. Not Gabor and Saeed for Prisoner's Dilemma. The original science that you so fucking forgot. The one with the empty buildings on your coastlines. The science. Not some fucking cheap-ass Jewish banks. You fucked up piece of shit. We're PhDs. Congratulations on your PhDs. Congratulations. My hair has been falling out every time I was a wrestler. Problem is, I already was hacked with Verken Van Dam and Bureau de Veritas. So these nails, these pink and blues, is all news on the news, you understand? They made Ubermensch after the coastlines. You know, they called them eggs in the UN. Why? Now, they know about it around the world. I was surprised at the Dar es Salaam neighborhoods with no fucking high school. So the blues. In fact, it wasn't even a question of, oh, the intel, no. Shit, even the Dar es Salaam neighborhoods now around the capital. Even in Russia and Saudi Arabia and Cairo. Poland, Warsaw. That tells me everything about 221, about the pink and blues eggs. It tells me, no, not only the intel buildings and the consulates. It tells me that the US has proven once again that that kind of intelligence does not belong in the US and space tech or science. Because after you smash your head on the coastlines, I have blues. Explain that. Genius bitches. Oh, sorry. I hate you, bitch! You're the original! I hate you, bitch! I'm Disneyland, you fucking bitch! No, I take that back. Whores! You want to make a prostitute out of this one after you smash her head in on the ghost lines? Go ahead. In other words, 221 Delph. You see it pointless, like literally pointless. Forget about pointless. You know, what was the other one? Nietzsche, right? Frederick, I don't want to read even Nietzsche. There's no God, Ubermash, or she, and no Holly produce eggs. Ubermash can never be the original. Especially on this this creates a horror. Terrorists! The terrorists! I can't look at it. In 80 countries. 81 countries in the US. Everyone else is fucking crying over this shit, and you there. Bitch ass, I'll kill her. Disney Mo. They're all literally 221 was killed by horse. Elf. So you want to kill me? Not only all that shit and sex shit and the other thing. Or the stalkers, the psychos, the actually they're not prostitutes. They're just whores. They're just low scum criminals. For me. And most probably for Fresno or for the Barons too. Sure. It's a collective. It's a collective on the ghost lines because that's what was lost. That's why they brought me back with that piece of paper Delph to do one in this format. The problem is your personal experiences don't interest me. I don't care if you're Jewish and you don't know about these things because your head was smashed or gassed and you never fucking came back except as a degenerate Jew Zionist. That 200 countries don't want to look at. And I'm really sorry for offending you. My parents would say to me, be polite to the Jews. I'm really sorry. My patience ran out. Sorry. So, you cheap assholes, after the smashing head on the ghost lines, we have eggs, pink and blues, and we want to stay in Rome for retirements. We have the Roman Bazaar for the blues and pink. No sacrifice by now for the pink, even if she's not suicidal. She has nothing to do with intel, per se, at least not the original intel. I mean, I could still have a little badge saying that I'm an intel, but it's not exactly the same person. Not after smashing head on the ghost lines and being in a train pool in the house, being called pink. Disneyland, okay? Crab, yeah, it's a crabby with all those paints. Now, calling out of Fresno for the Barons on retirement. So, the Barons are born in pioneer camps beyond the capital cities. And they're pioneer champions at very young ages. Babies, by the age of 5, they went back, they went to the capital cities. Also, and Cairo. And that's here. Okay? For instance, Norris Piasecz. An Arctic Circle, Norris being Turk, Piasecz being Russian, and Saudi, Turk, you know. And then move back all the way to Warsaw, all the way to Cairo, where they grew up. Went to school, blah, 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 blah. Is that what I'm saying? About that darkness? That's why they're D1s. That's why they were pioneer champions beyond the capital cities. You are just sheeple-ass murderers. You're, Schadenfreude Jr. cheerleaders who want to kill me after the Hague on Knuckles lines, after the science is empty. You will cry for a cheap-ass dark missioner, but you won't cry for me. Don't cry for me, Argentina. I hate that song. I don't like that song. Just don't like it. So this replacement child has just shown to the rest of the world what the fuck the US is. Simply by being Disneyland. Without having to have her head smashed in on the ghost lines, the likely original girl. Okay, and losing that science, all those sciences, and she was in a ship. It became a yacht, a ghost child, and she's the pin-up girl. I'm the pin-up girl. I'm not running for Miss America, Jean Bonnet. In fact, if anything, there's John Bennett, who was in Rome in high school, at this high school of the presidents, who basically said to me, He's British. His family worked on the 5th floor of the UN. My family on the 4th floor of the UN. He was friends with Emmy Quintus. He was in her class, probably my age, but I was moved 3 years ahead for free high school, free college at 15. And London Emmy basically said he was kidnapped. He became a dentist and he lives in Rome. And he was kidnapped about the same time I should have been running for Miss America, Jean Bonnet in the basements or something. Now that shit already happened. You say, but you could still kill me. The Disney version of that girl. We know that. We know about your cheerleaders and your psycho stalkers and your Hotel California. We already killed her. But then there's some blues out there. Because of Hoovermensch. Because of fucking D-Center, PhD. I got a gun. I'm gonna kill Disneyland. I made the void a coastline. Because my ass is expensive in town and space time. All the fucking shitties, empty buildings. Whore Disneyland. Whore Disneyland. The Hague. Whore Disney. US. No amount of 250 Dr. Parrots, including the ones in Berlin, are going to be able to sue your ass for the amount of times you showed your fucking cheerleading, fucked-faced people in the US for Disney alone. So, want to make my life a living misery after the Hague in Disney mode? Connect the dots worldwide to globals in 80 countries. I want to say 81 in the US. With about 20 states already visited in the US, still 81 countries. Nope. Your fucking country is your fucking country. We finished. The Hague, with the Scotland film and Radio Global, is already out there. I'm already in your old news on the news gone with the wind. You can keep your fucking bitches and whores in the US. The more stupid your country is, the more violent. The more, I have a PhD, and, I'm Jewish, help me, or religious fanatics, or college grads, I'm so proud you got a degree, you're federal prisoners, you're psycho stalkers. The more you have this in the country, the better America will be. Yeah, not. So when they say, eu vengo com vossa boca muerta to talk on behalf of you assholes on the coastlines, actually, yes. So when they say you're Indios, and after the Hague, and I brought you back as a Disney particular corn cob, it's not that they were joking about that shit. That's like, literally, pin-up girl, the ghost child. Now, if they made Ubermensch out of that girl because she was some fucked up July 21st century freak, you gotta go ask the German airspace, the Russians, the Saudis, Warsaw Internationals, Polish, Cairo, Italy, Las Vegas, Woolwich's, London, Greenwich Mean Time. Because they're the ones who made it famous or known after you smashed their head on the coastlines. They're the ones who said Scotland Film Radio Global after the Hague on the coastlines. You lost science. You saw it coming from China. You didn't give a shit. On your soil. While you're doing your little PhDs. With your little titties. Getting ready to marry. George wasn't my husband. I was too busy flying beyond the library. Runnings, That's the roof of the library. There's hills. There's mountains. Then there's the ground. Third one for Dad. Mountains. In fact, they're actually, because you see, these are not mountains. After the hills, there are mountains. That's not a mountain. Mountains. Okay. So you don't see the hydrographic surveying. And then you have the heat. Then you have here, the third one. Back, and then the third one here. Because they get her from Fresno to Poland, Poland to Russia. And then there's more mountains. In other words, what you are showing to the rest of the world that many motherfucking times is you enjoy seeing the pain of this one. Disneyland already had her head smashed. The girl already had her head smashed in on the ghost lines. I am a stand-in, you could say, spoiled child. It doesn't matter all the pain of the crawlies, the true crawlies, for the bears. It doesn't matter connect the dots, we'll watch the globals in 81 countries in this format. For me, with those guys, it doesn't matter that I have to hang out with the shitty CIA after the Hague on the ghost lines with the shit that's void. Unfortunately, made me very unhappy because it's void. So when you kill that kind of intel, and you have Dirk-Jan van Dam speaking about phenomena, and you say that's void because the intel died and the guys left and there's others. There'll be other ways the US gets attacked other than being hacked and coming back as. And if there's anybody out there that managed between the brother or the mother who was the head of sciences at Warsaw University in 96 who says Polish until it's pink and it's Russian, that's greys and blacks on the border at least, for sciences. And the same with the cousin of the father who's 96 years old in Cairo who said Egypt is pink, Saudi Arabia is greys and blacks. In the Mir, whenever you hear the word Mir, means Nasa for instance, Mir, whether it's Russian or Saudi or German airspace, whenever that word hits, you know what the fuck this is on the bus lines. The elf, literally, the nome di fatto, ding 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 ding. Hague, you terrorists. You even terrorists with Disneyland. They don't call it the Holy Grail over there for nothing. If I were Chinese, they would have blessed me. You're fucking assholes. The fact that they showed this hatred towards me at my lowest, and that you had these psycho stalkers on me, it doesn't matter how many Dr. Barretts you hire. Well, they're free around Western Europe and in the UN for me. They will show who you are. I'm not perfect, but they'll show your behaviors. Your wishful thinking. Kill the bitch. This is you, inside you. I hope they kill Disney. I hope, after what happened on the good slides with the Hague, who gives a shit for science? But she did some cancer. Maybe something good. You know, and they say apes. They didn't mean ape for me. They meant for you. When they say apes for Ubermensch walking around, you know what the Ubermensch do? They kill apes like you. So if an Ubermensch, after a smashed head on the coastlines, is a byproduct of stupid... That's why German airspace is naming their children Jamila. And their nieces. Do you understand that, you fucking retarded? 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2. What was that 2, 2, 1 number again? I don't remember. What the fuck did we lose on the coastlines? Fuck it. I don't give a shit. It's all news on the news. This is what the fuck you are. Shippo. It's not a question of showing your true colors. You're just fucking assholes. And the thing is, you're not using your brains. You're using your assholes completely. Like, literally. Trying to make prostitute out of me, whatever. It doesn't make a difference anymore. They already know what the fuck you are in the US. That doesn't even begin to explain Fresno for the Barons of retirements. Hanging benches, log winters, and 98. That many flyings. 92, 92 and above on those mountains beyond the library. That many motherfucking times. The amount of runnings on the hills, that many motherfucking runnings that you wouldn't be able to even count how many motherfucking times there was the runnings. And then the third one, the crawlies, and then the crawlies. The third one is after the smashed in head on the coastlines. Okay? Hits the roof of the library. And I actually was, the actual science wasn't in Fresno. So, you are what you fucking are. Fresno. Whether it's here or in Frisco, whatever you sent the cycles here, that stalked me to Poland or London, Germany, of the Heinies. Whether you're Jewish or whether you're white, whether you're having fun, whether you're criminals, whether you're psychopath stalkers, it doesn't make a fucking difference to us. You're fucking retarded, US. They showed it's a collective. It's not only a collective for the Hague on the ghost lines that you lost that intel. It's that your fucking cheerleaders are after me. You retarded fucking bitches and hoes. I don't even give a shit. You want to use me, you want to abuse. I don't care. I don't even call it rape. Dr. Barretts will say, you were, when you were younger in college, remember? Such person. So, it's sort of break down the electric wellies and another psychopaths. And I'm like, that's not rape. Somebody had a knife or whatever. And they're looking at me like, I can't take this anymore. Because to them, to those who are thinking, to those who remember that girl, And to those who know what this is, why she came back, because let's say somebody has a head smashed in on the coastlines, and it was something big, and they bring back Disneyland for a blimp in time to one Delph, literally. And that's the old news on the news gone with the wind anyway, Angels. And you still have issues with it. US. What was she good at in science? You smashed somebody's head in the coastlines and you're giving excuses to yourself for 221 July 20th? For doing that? And losing that science? While you cry for cheapos ass dark missioners? Who gives a shit about them? You make a fucking dent in science? No. And kill another million of them. Make a fucking dent in sciences? No. What the fuck did you lose on the coastlines? That made the dent with the Hague. You are so stupid in the US that you didn't notice the intelligence you had on the coastlines until it was Hagued. And you could see it coming from China with all the flyings and runnings, because I was defending the barons of Fresno. Or retirements. Pioneer camps beyond the capital cities. Pioneers at very, very young ages. Move to capital cities at very, very young ages. D1s, D2s. Directorates and humanitarian leave services. All over Africa, South America, and Asia. Dropping aid. OSRO. Later on TZOR, USAID. CRS. All of them D1s. UN. My mom and my dad in D1. It was D1s. On helicopters dropping aid. Maybe twice or 3 times to Iraq. That's it. Like everybody else. You lying fucking shit. You even lied about me. You denied me. I had to come back in this format to make you feel like a woman. So you could take it out on a genetic graft. Say a special graft. Disney graft with ticks. With special schools. Special professors with white hairs, big heads. Corporates saying that girl was a phenomena. Sticking Disneyland out as a pin-up girl. Oh, there's blues, really. There's eggs. After smashing head on the coastlines. If I smash your head in Jewel, or you come back as an Uber, a German airspace would say the byproduct of stupid times. Even the Germans said that. And they're my enemies. Even they're helping. American Huren. The Vatican. American whores. Cheerleaders. Psycho bitches. Fuck you bitches. And these are doctors? These are nurses? These are people in masses around the capital cities on my cruise. And I'm looking at them like, listen, I have no pretense. I'm Disneyland by now. Why don't we just stay and roll for retirements? And that's not even mentioning the barons of Fresno. Please, I beg you. On my grollies, little grollies. 221 wants to stay and roll for, by now. Scotland from a Radio Global. Put your PhD where it belongs. Put your religious beliefs, especially the Jewish ones, where they belong. And everything else. And your limousines and your degrees. Okay? Spaceborne Fresno with Havana 696969. License plates all over the capital city since I was 5 years old. And growing up and still till today, yeah, and t-shirts. And who knows what else from the masses around the capital cities. I can't take that many crawlies and letter crawlies in this format out of Fresno. I can't. Being a drain poodle in the house is difficult for me. Knowing what happened to the original girl on the coastlines and now I'm some replacement Disney version graft of a particular corp is difficult enough. Had my face not been known around the world after The Hague, you probably would have killed Disneyland too for fun. Not because you're racist, but you're an American patriot, aren't you? You're not using your brains, you're all assholes. And that's what they're saying, use your brains, not your assholes. Cuts to the good as on. You know what? Bringing back Disneyland wasn't a bad idea. Show the fuck you are, US. Arrivederci.